Welcome to Spirited Straight Talk, the podcast to help you thrive with the help of spirit. I'm Deb Shepard, psychic medium, spiritual teacher, and author. Each week, I bring new insights to help you heal from loss, connect with spirit, and turn setbacks into triumphs. So let's get started.
In today's Spirited Straight Talk, we're featuring a heartwarming episode of Deb Shepard's popular YouTube show, Grieving to Believing. If you haven't caught Grieving to Believing yet, you need to do so. In each episode, Deb connects grieving parents with their children on the other side. And as you experience all the extraordinary validations that come through, you too will be experiencing new levels of healing, faith, and love. And you'll be comforted knowing that your loved ones are also with you. I hope you enjoy this episode.
You knew that you were going to be addressing some challenges ahead of you, but I feel like all of a sudden it's over. It's like, and there's almost like nothing anyone can do. I'm seeing the ambulances, I'm seeing like this panic, I'm seeing how can we change this?
You and me chasing down forever after.
Hello, and welcome to Grieving to Believing. I'm Deb Shepard. There is no greater loss than that of a child, no matter the age or the circumstances. My mission is to help bring parents peace and to understand and know that their children are still giving them messages from the other side. Besides knowing that I'm going to be speaking to a parent that has had the most horrific experience of a loss of a child, I do not know who I'm going to be reading for today. Please join me as we make this connection to the other side. Hi, everyone. I'm Deb Shepard. Who am I speaking to today?
I'm Breanne.
And I'm Breanne Betterton.
Great to meet both of you. And thank you both for being here. I rarely get two people, so this is really an honor, and I'm very grateful. And on top of that, you're way too young to be here today with the loss of a child. So big, huge heart going out to both of you. And thank you for not only being courageous, but brave to share your story with us. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Who's the really creative genius here?
Probably me.
Okay, because I'm getting, wow, over the top creative. So maybe it needs to rub off on Gavin, right? Definitely that creative side. Okay, so this is obviously a young child that's passed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm getting the number 5. So is this child under the age of 5, or is there a 5 connection?
He's under the age of 5, not really a 5 connection.
Okay, so under the age of 5 or very young. He also telling me that this is a son, and I'm getting also a young male.
Mm-hmm.
What's your son's name?
Merrick.
Okay. Oh, I love that name.
Thanks.
Oh my goodness. This was a huge blessing to come in. Do you feel like when he was born was like magic happened, is what I get with this? Is like a little bit like overwhelmed that this is in your life, this little boy?
Yeah, it was pretty overwhelming, his birth.
I just kind of get, okay, wait a minute, take a back seat. What's happening here?
Yeah.
Also, there's a lot of issues with my heart, breathing, lungs. Does this make sense with Merrick too?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. Because I feel like there's complications for him. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And were there complications right after birth or not too long after he was born?
During pregnancy, he was a preemie.
Okay, because
I had preeclampsia, so he wasn't, getting all the nutrients. So.
Okay. So the 5 I'm going to go back to is maybe at 5 months you started seeing there was maybe some challenges in this pregnancy. Yeah. Okay, so like we have to put this on high risk. We have to understand what's going on. I'm also seeing that the doctors are going, yeah, how do we do this? I feel like people are making it up along the way. Is this your first pregnancy?
My second.
Because I feel like they're questioning you regarding this pregnancy.
It was my first high-risk pregnancy.
Okay. But I also get that the doctors are not thinking, I feel like there's a seriousness, but in the very beginning, it's like we're questioning whether this is really that serious. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I felt in the beginning so I got preeclampsia with my first pregnancy too, but it was at the very end. And this time I just kind of felt this is more serious than the last one. I just know it's not going to be the same.
Okay. So that's what I'm getting from him. I'm getting like 5 months into it, 6 months into it, we're like, there's
That's kind of when the doctors started saying like, okay, yes, like you've got high blood pressure and we need to put you on medications.
I keep seeing these red flags. And he's telling me, Merrick is telling me, everything that you did was to the law of the land. Like you followed the rules. You didn't take any risk. You didn't put him at risk. You didn't ignore the doctors or say, oh, I've had one pregnancy. This one's going to be okay. You followed the letter to everything. Like, this is what I'm going to do. If I need bed rest, if I need to drink more water, if I need to take medications, if I need to have more ultrasounds, if I need to have, this app that tells me what's going on, I feel like there was a constant thing. You were on top of it. He's also saying, Gavin, you felt like, I don't know how I can help, but how do I be here? So he says that you were this support system at the same time going, my hands are tied. And he says that your heart grieved separately because you did not want mom to know what you were really going through. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That you wanted to say, let me take over, let me do this. And he says, he knows that you were trying to be this advocate, but you know that you had to have hands off. And he says that you stood by every single doctor's appointment or what needed to be done. You were there. And he goes, thank you, Dad. I'm also feeling that even though that you knew there was complications, I feel like there was so much hope that what science could do would keep this dude here. And I keep getting this little dude that's very tiny, but you're looking at him as being Mighty Mouse. You've got the muscles, you've got what it takes. Was he only like 3.2 ounces or 3.2 pounds? I get what's the...
Yeah, he was 3 pounds, 1 ounce.
1 ounce, because I keep getting 3 point something, like, wow, you can put him in your hand.
He was tiny.
Yeah, he says there wasn't even preemie clothes for me. You just kind of swaddled me a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm saying I'm seeing him being hooked up a lot, like trying to help him get what he needed through technology and science. Like I'm seeing everything on top of him, helping him get through this. And he says, I fought hard. He's showing me that he started losing weight, but gaining weight. I keep seeing this back and forth sort of, it's like this graph of we have a high day, we have a low day, we have a high day, we have a low day. Yeah. Were you still trying to breastfeed him? I know that's a little bit.
Yeah, I breastfed him for 10 months.
Because he says that
he wasn't really gaining enough weight. So
that's okay. He just says he knows that you did this, and whether it was that he latched on or whether it was a bottle, he just says, Mom, you did everything you could to give him the best possibility of making it through this, like everything that was needed. And he's showing me these little tiny legs. So I don't know if it's photos of fingers around the legs or fingers around, but I'm getting these photographs or these images of this little tiny guy just fighting his way through this.
I took pictures of him in the NICU. I do photography as a hobby, so I took some of him there. Yeah.
Okay, so he's talking about so even though he was an infant, his soul is saying, I know the photos. I know that you were breastfeeding. I know that you were doing this. I know the ups and downs. I know that Dad kept showing up vigilantly talking to me. He goes, Gavin, he says, you didn't talk out loud, but I heard what you said. I heard you saying, you got this. I love you. You keep going. You got the strength. He says, you kept talking to me, even though you may not have said it out loud verbally. I heard everything that you said. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. He's also, did you call him a nickname? Or did you, because I know Merrick's his name, but I keep getting.
We called him Mimic because that's how his older brother said his name.
Okay. Because I keep
called him Mimic.
Yeah, I wrote down Merrick. It's like, I'm not getting that as his name. It's something else like his name. This is older brother. Is there something about the leather jacket and the motorcycle or the car? What's the little kind of idea about his older brother being? Does that make any sense? Or is this
not really a leather jacket or a motorcycle, but they would sit in the back seat of the car. There were only 2 seats. We had captain seats, and they would just talk all the time. So I wonder if that's maybe it, or
I'm going to see if I can get more. I feel a sense of I keep using the word dude, like dude.
They were little buddies. Yeah. I think our older son, Liam, would really kind of take him under his wing and just kind of teach him the ropes, show him the ropes.
Okay. Because I keep getting, you got this, dude. Come on. I just kind of get this almost like you're too young probably for this, but that swanky kind of, feeling of, come on, you got this.
Liam, our older son, he taught him how to be a little mischievous.
Okay. So I'm trying to think of who the actor is. I'm thinking Fonzie. I'm almost getting like a Fonzie energy. Are you guys a little older, but do you remember Fonzie at all? Like kind of that cool. So if he's
like that. Yeah.
So that's my feeling with Liam. He's talking about Liam being like the Fonz, like really cool, trying to be the cooler brother. And even though Merrick had so much going on, I feel like Liam did not let that bother him. Like, I still got you. You're still my brother. I still love you. You're still part of me. Merrick also says that even though things were going on, I still feel unprepared for his passing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I feel like, okay, we're kind of over the hump. We feel like we're moving forward. We're getting healthy. We know what we're dealing with. And because I also feel like there was maybe digestive issues, how to gain weight, how to, that you knew that you were going to be addressing some challenges ahead of you. But I feel like all of a sudden it's over. It's like snap. And there's almost like nothing anyone can do. I'm seeing the ambulances. I'm seeing like this panic. I'm seeing, how can we change this?
Our son's name was Merrick. He passed this year in 2022. And it was accidental drowning, but I always kind of thought there was more to it. He just kind of knew the water was scary and dangerous, so he was cautious around it. And I just didn't understand how it could be a drowning.
I was on my way to work. I was about 5 minutes away from starting and wouldn't have been able to take the call if it was any later. And I just got a call from my sister telling me. I picked up and she just said, "Merrick drowned, I'm not kidding." And I just hung up the phone, jumped in my car, and tried to get back as quick as I could.
What I feel with Merrick is something was missed, whether medically or something, that you weren't prepared or had knowledge of that this could happen. Does that make sense?
I've had a gut feeling that something was missed, but there's never been any confirmation. So
okay, if there's no confirmation, so give you an example of what I'm sensing to see if this resonates, if you're still unsure. When my brother, he's younger than I am, he had open heart surgery, and the boy next to him had the same exact surgery, and everything was looking okay. And all of a sudden there was a leak in his heart that they didn't catch. And that's what I feel with Merrick. It was like something wasn't caught prior to his passing.
Yeah.
And if they would have known, maybe something could have been done, but I feel like no one was not on anyone's radar.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay. So it's just sort of my way of understanding that if you would have known, if the medical community would have known, things would have been done differently. Huge smile. I feel like there's a lot of pictures of Jim just smiling from ear to ear. And he's also saying, Gavin, did you say something like, he's got mom's eyes, or he's got mom's smile, or I'm glad he looks like mom? What's that about?
Yeah, both of our kids look a lot like Breanne. So
okay, it's just his way of saying, yeah, but Dad, I still got you in me, because I feel like this is a kid that had this huge heart. Just in his short time here, really made an impact on not only your family but the community. And I feel like there was a lot of cheerleading going on before he was born. After he was born, there was a great community that kept cheering that this kid is a warrior, that he is going to make a difference, and he is showing up. And he keeps talking about he kept trying to get his little legs to stand. He kept trying to get his little legs to go. He kept trying to get his little legs, like I'm seeing him like, I got this, I got this. There's a sense of him being this energetic kid that really wanted to thrive, and his body wouldn't allow it. Like he just feels like he just kept having things that kept occurring. He's saying there's nothing that you did, Mom, that caused this. This is just that random act that happens. Is there a third pregnancy or a third child coming?
We hope so.
Yeah, he's saying yes to this. Mm-hmm. I'm normally wrong, but I'm getting a girl, so I'm just putting it out there.
We wanted a girl, so.
Okay, so he's bringing that it might be the girl. And what's the connection to September?
I would love a September or October baby.
Okay, so in the works, Gavin, okay? I think part of him bringing this up is you wanted a big family. You want to have children. You don't let his experience change you from having another pregnancy to not to bring another child in. And he says, I'm always going to be watching. I'm going to be right there. I'm not leaving you. What's the dragonfly or the butterfly? What's the wings? Not the wings I have in back, but what's the connection to that?
Sorry.
Is it bees?
If it's bees, I'll go there because that's what my name means. But I keep getting the beautiful iridescent wings.
Mm-hmm.
What's that connection mean?
Around the time of his passing, we just kept seeing bees everywhere. They were all over the flowers at his funeral, and we've never really had bees at our house, but kept seeing them out on the porch, and they were just around a lot. And I just made a joke of, hey, Merrick, if you're sending me a sign, can it be something other than bees? I don't want to get stung.
Okay, then that's probably why he's saying, I'll try dragonflies or butterflies, but yes. Was there someone trying to, I keep trying to like do something to get his heart going or breath going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had CPR performed on him.
Okay. And I'm getting a feeling of falling back or someone trying to lay me back. Does that make sense too?
Yeah.
And he says that I need you or whomever to know there was no way that CPR was going to work. Did he pass this year?
Yeah.
Like February, March, somewhere in there?
In June.
What's the February-March connection?
He was born in March.
Okay, because he's bringing this through. He says that you still have lots of questions, though.
Yeah, about his death.
That
we were at the pool, and it was just a normal day. And then my older son came to me and said Merrick died. He was in the hot tub and he had drowned.
I don't feel like there was a drowning.
I don't think that's
okay. So since I got in the beginning that there was another defect or something else going wrong, in a drowning, it would feel very different for me.
Okay.
So if there's a lot of guilt around, someone should have been paying more attention. He should have been right there in front of us. I should have been holding him. I should have been all of that, which I am so sorry about. I don't feel that his passing was from drowning. I feel like, seriously, 100%, I feel like he passed before that event.
Yeah, I've wondered if something happened to him and he just happened to be in the water. So that just kind of was.
Yeah, I'm not getting a drowning on any level. And I feel like
I just want, sorry to cut you off. I just wondered if it would have happened if we were there or not.
That's why I kept seeing the ambulances, which now makes more sense. I think if you were at home and he was sitting on the couch watching the show, he would have passed.
Okay.
Because that's why he was showing me very visually this little boy that passed at the hospital, that they were sitting there just talking and all of a sudden he passed. because they didn't know this other defect. And he was very clear that people didn't know about this. So the feeling of, oh, I should have been there. I mean, especially if you're at a pool having fun, we don't expect ourselves to lose a child. And he's telling me, even if he would have been outside the pool sitting on a chair, this would have happened.
Okay.
So, because I'm sensing there's people around and we're paying attention, but it was that, and as we know, it's that quick, but I'm getting a passing before that.
Yeah. That day I just felt like hyper vigilant, more so than normal. And I just felt like I was keeping an extra close eye on him than normal, except for the exact time that this happened.
Because I almost feel like someone just turned around for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a second can be, 40 seconds, 50 seconds, 2 minutes, but I feel like there's almost a collapse before this. And that's why not asking you questions and seeing these visuals beforehand is to give you without a doubt that this had nothing, because I'm not feeling drowning. I'm not feeling that I can't breathe. So to let you know, I drowned at the age of 2.
Mm-hmm.
When I feel that someone's drowned, even with COVID, I start coughing. I feel that. And even though they can put that on his death certificate,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm getting that. No.
Yeah, that's what I've said. Even while we were at the scene when it was happening, I just, he had been in swim lessons. He was wearing floaties. The floaties were still on him and they were Coast Guard approved. And I was just like, I don't understand how this could have happened. He was nervous around the water. He knew it was scary. So I just didn't understand.
I just get that this is something that was missed. No one would have known. No one would have looked for. And I do believe it was his heart, even though they may not see this in an autopsy. Doesn't mean they know everything just because of science.
Yeah.
And he is so clear with me about what I think he's so clear to give you the sense of peace that you did nothing wrong.
Okay.
Because I think if he would have been on the lawn chair, sitting there, eating chips, watching what was going on,
Mm-hmm.
this would have still happened.
I asked him last night, I said out loud, if it was something else, if it wasn't a drowning, please bring it up in the session. And
help you to know that he's telling you, yes, something was missed.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. How are you doing, Gavin?
I'm all right.
It kind of sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not what you signed up for. You didn't sign up to go through this, but the fact that you two are brave enough to talk about this, because parents carry a lot of guilt that they didn't protect their child, especially you're thinking, okay, you were at a pool, were you not paying attention? So there's all that judgment, and he's letting you know very clearly before I even knew the story, no, there's nothing you could do.
Okay.
Absolutely nothing. What are you two taking away besides, you didn't do anything wrong? Anything else that's going to be helpful or a message for somebody else? Any other parent that's watching that will carry this guilt that they do?
That he's always here. I feel like I always know Merrick's here with us, and I think he's always trying to show me. I'm curious to know how he's showing me, I guess, because I always see the number 1111 or 111 on the clock, and just kind of wonder if it's him.
Those are really high vibrational spiritual numbers. So absolutely. He didn't talk about that today, but it doesn't mean that those are not ways for him to come through. Mm-hmm. For him to be here for such a short period of time, strong soul. I mean, was he, like you said, 10 months?
I breastfed him for 10 months, but he was 2.
So for him to be here for 2 years and to come this strong is pretty miraculous. Well, I really am in gratitude that you both were willing to be brave enough to share, especially with the story, because it could have easily been like, I'm not going on camera. Yeah. So you were going to help a lot of people, and I really hope this helps you and your family to know that he is there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Merrick was really timid, and even though he was timid, he was really mischievous. And his older brother kind of taught him how to be mischievous. His older brother Liam was always the mischievous one, always getting into trouble. And Merrick is always the calmer one. But Liam definitely taught him how to get into trouble.
He was always just the happiest kid, always smiling, always wanting to come and give hugs and kisses and just be close. He was a little snuggler. And he was just always so happy with everything.
I told him last night, just, if this is you, or if you do come through, this is what I want you to talk about. And I think we talked about that today with, Deb kind of just said, yeah, this wasn't just a drowning, there was more to it, which is always something I've thought. So I really felt like that was him, because that's specifically what I asked him to talk about.
Like Breanne said, I had asked Merrick every time we visited the graveside and just talking to him that if it's him, just mention the bees and just bring something like that up, because it's just something that stood out so much at the time. And having that come up just felt so real, and it's very comforting to experience that.
I always feel like he's here. I always feel like he's around and he's trying to show us.
It always feels like he's near. It's just a really overwhelming feeling of comfort hearing from him and having this experience to communicate and connect again.
I am so grateful and honored that both parents were willing to participate in today's session, and to know without a doubt that Merrick is okay, and that their intuition that he did not drown, there was other complications, so that they can have peace. But bottom line, if you or someone you know has lost a child, please watch and subscribe to Grieving to Believing. And know without a doubt that even though your loved ones are on the other side, they are still by your side. Thank you for joining me. I'm Deb Shepard.
So what did you think? We hope you enjoyed this Grieving to Believing episode, and you can watch more episodes of Grieving to Believing on YouTube. Season 2 has so many powerful readings and extraordinary stories. This will help you know without a doubt that your loved ones are with you. To watch Grieving to Believing, go to my YouTube channel, Deb Shepard Psychic Medium, and we'll be sure to put the link in the show notes too.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. I hope it inspired you. If you enjoyed our conversation, make sure you subscribe so that you get notified of new episodes. And let's get connected. Visit debshepard.com for more insights, support, workshops, and to book a session with me. And finally, always remember, your loved ones in spirit are just a thought away. Even though they're on the other side, they're always by your side.